welcome to Discovery Time. We're doing something a little bit different today. We are going to be going over how to create a spinning star on Tinkercad, which is a 3D printing software that we use. My name is Holly, I'm tech librarian, and this is Keelie.
Hi.
Keelie is brand new to Tinkercad, so she'll be learning with you guys.
This is Tinkercad. Tinkercad is a free software that you can sign up using an email address. If you're quite young, you might need to get your parents to help you with that. So first things first, we are going to create a new design. Cool, so what we're looking at now is called the work plane. This is what we're going to build our shape on. If you can see up the top here, there's a random selection of words that Tinkercad gives you. This is the name of your project. If you'd like to click on that, you can then type in spinning star, or whatever you'd like to call this project. Excellent, so now that we've named our project, we are going to be showing you how to move around Tinkercad. So if you have a mouse, you can either, using the left hand button, click and move around. So basically what this does is, right hand button, sorry, my bad, left and right. The right hand button, holding down, will move the work plane around. You can also, using the little roller ball in the middle of the mouse, zoom in and out. And if you hold down the rolly ball, you can also move the work plane around as well. If you have a look on the left here, you can see a box. It's got labeled, top, left, right, bottom. You can actually click on that and move that around as well, if you find that easier. You've also, down the side here, got your plus for zooming in, your minus for zooming out. And if you click on the home button, that'll take you right back to where you started. So if you find yourself in a very weird looking screen, you can go home. Cool, so now what we're going to do is we are going to start by creating our shapes. So if you have a look on the right hand side here, you can see a shapes menu. You're going to want to scroll down until you find the yellow star, and click and drag one of those onto the build plane. Excellent. So now that we've got that on there, we are going to be rotating it a little bit because it's not quite center. So if you have a look at these curved arrows, you can actually click on those and rotate it, and we are going to rotate this to 90 degrees. And so since we're going to be needing 3 of these, just to avoid us having to do that twice more, you can actually go up the top to the copy icon and the paste icon, and paste twice. Cool, so we now have 3 stars. Now we're going to be resizing our stars. So if we sort of drag one of them out to the side, and you see these white boxes on the corner there when you click on them, that's where you resize. So you can either click and drag them out to resize, or if you have a look, there's numbers next to them. You can click on those numbers and type in. So we are going to make the star 75 on both sides, so the top and the bottom. And then click on the, yeah. So that's a good point. If you find that your little number boxes are disappearing, make sure to click on the white box at the corner of your shape again. And we're going to be doing it the same thing for all 3. So this one is going to be 45 by 45. And then the last one is going to be 33 by 33. Excellent. So now that we have our 3 stars, what we're going to do is we are going to turn one of these stars into a hole. So if we click on the middle sized one And you see on the side here, you have two options that have come up. You've got either solid or whole. So if you select whole, and the star should have turned grey. Now what we're going to do is we are going to very roughly drag this middle star over top of the big star. Cool, and then let go. And then if you click outside of the box and click and drag until you've highlighted those two stars, and then what we're going to do is we are going to go up to the top toolbar up here, and we are going to click on this icon here called Align. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us some points to align across, and we are going to align straight down the middle of both sides. And that just makes sure that we are completely in the middle. Now to cut out our shape, we need to go back up to the top taskbar and click Group. And what that's going to do is it's going to turn two shapes into one, and because one of our shapes was a hole, it's created a cutout. Cool, so now we are going to create the spinning mechanism. So if we go back to our shapes menu, and we are going to scroll up until we find the shape called the cylinder, and it should be orange. Cool, so we are also going to rotate this shape, so you may need to spin your work plane around until you can find the rotation point. This one here, just above, yeah. And we are going to rotate that 90 degrees. Cool, so now we are going to resize our cylinder, and if we have a look here, so it is going to be 3 and 45, and then we're going to change the height as well because it looks a bit squished, so we're going to change that to be 3 as well. Cool, and so if you click on the cylinder again, you should see this black triangle. That's going to raise the cylinder. So if we click on that and drag it up until this number on the side here is 1. So it doesn't raise it up very much. Yeah. And then now that we've done that, we are going to copy and paste that cylinder so that we have 2. Excellent. And we are going to slightly resize that second cylinder. That. So the 3 is going to be 3.75 for both sides, and the height as well. You may need to, yeah. Cool. And then the length, that is going to be 47. Cool, and then what we're going to do is we're going to turn the larger cylinder into a hole. So remember, click on the grey circle. Excellent. Oh, so I've completely forgotten to give you an instruction. So if we go back to the stars, so if we click on our stars, we're going to change the height. So remember, that's the white square in the middle. We're going to change that 10 to 5. And then do the same for the other one as well. Excellent, cool. So now that we've got all our pieces, we can just put them together. So first thing, we are going to grab our larger cylinder and drag it over top of our big star with the cutout. We don't need to be too particular about that because we are going to be highlighting it again. So click and drag outside of it, and then go back up to Align. And we are going to align along the 2 center points. And then go back up to Group. So remember, that is going to turn 2 shapes into 1, and you can see that it's cut out a hole. Cool. And then we are going to grab our small star and put it roughly over top of our other cylinder. And we're going to highlight and select those. Go back up to Align. And then align along the 2 center points. And then Group. Cool. So we are almost done. So now we are going to select and highlight both of those pieces. Go back up to align. And align along the 2 center points. Cool. And then we go group. Ooh, yeah. So it's important to do group between tasks, because if you end up with a bunch of just shapes, like heaps of shapes, it will print as one, but when you're making it, it's just a lot easier to have it all together, just in case you accidentally drag one out of place. Cool, so we're almost done. Now all we have to do is create a ring so that we can turn this into a keychain or a necklace or a Christmas ornament or whatever you like. So we're going to go back to our shapes menu, and we are going to find a donut looking shape called a Taurus, and it should be blue. Cool, and then all we're going to do is we're going to just resize this ever so slightly. We are going to make the both sides 15. Cool. And the height of our Taurus should already be 5, so we don't need to change that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this Taurus so that it overlaps the point of our star, and pull down slightly so that the tip is right in the middle. Cool. And then if you really wanted to make sure it was centered, you could click and drag to highlight and then go back to align. You should be able to just align through the center and then go group. And you are done. Cool. So when this, if you end up 3D printing this, what will happen is that star in the middle, it should spin around so that you have created a moving piece. And then to save your work, all you need to do is click on the rainbow Tinkercad box in the corner. Excellent. And so if you wanted to 3D print this, just click on the picture of your object and then go download. And the file you need to choose is the STL. And that is the 3D printing file. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. So this is the file that you would send us if you wanted to get something 3D printed. For any information, just go to the Napier Library's website under 3D printing. And we will include a PDF attached to this video so that you guys can follow the instructions at home. Thank you. Bye.